Hi everybody, welcome to Source Inspired Speaking. I'm Nathan. I'm so excited to share this Christmas story with you. We're going to talk about Jesus. We're going to talk about that Christ light that exists within each one of us, the true story of Christmas, what it means for us, and how we can use that to really change our lives. It's powerful, it's transformational. I think you're going to like it, so please just sit back, remove yourself from any distractions, listen to these words, and I'll check back in with you after. Hello. Thank you for joining us here today. Today we would like to speak to you about the story of Christmas and what Jesus' story really meant. You see, we hear this story about a person who was born in a manger, but who was divine, a child of God, and who grew up to change the very nature of this reality, to change societies all over the world. This story of Jesus can be looked at as a story of some amazing divine being that came to earth. Or you can look at it and realize that this story is a story about you. You see, each one of us born into this world is divine in nature. And yet the circumstances that we are born into this world with sometimes seem less than perfect. We don't necessarily have all the riches, all the ease, everything that would make this life simple, easy. But yet within us is a great divine power that could allow us, if we tap into it, to change this whole world. You see, the story of Jesus is the story of a person who realized his divinity, who realized that Christ consciousness existed within him, and then rather than just own it for himself, he tried to share it with all those around him. He would always say that I am the Son of God, that we are all children of God, that you are my brothers and sisters. And when they say that the path to heaven is through Jesus, he didn't mean it as you have to worship him to get to heaven. He meant it that I have found a way to this Christ consciousness. I am a roadmap for you, because the same thing that I can do, you can do, and even greater. So the story of Jesus is a story about discovering your own divine Christ light within, about realizing that circumstances don't have to be perfect, because your life was created so that you could discover your own truth, so that you could shift and change the world and find new ways to express God, new ways to love, new ways to share, new ways to grow, new ways to create. That is your purpose here, to express God in all the infinity of ways that God exists. And discovering that inner Christ consciousness is just one of those ways. Understanding that God created everything, that we are all children of God, and therefore we are all perfect and unique in our own ways. And what God thinks of as perfect is not what humans think of as perfect. Because humans think that what they don't have is what they need to become perfect, and then as soon as they have it, they discover something else they need to find perfection, because perfection isn't truth. In that sense, anyway. Seeking perfection is a way of seeking to improve upon your life, of expanding and growing. But God's view of perfection is a little different. God sees this world the way it is and knows that nothing needs to change to make it holy, to make it divine, to make it worthy of God. Because this world is of God. And everything that happens within it happens within God. No matter how bad things seem to be here, the way we judge them, God knows that in truth people can't be hurt, people can't be die, people can't really be sick. Because we are so much more than the physical body. So God sees the truth, and God knows that in the end everything is okay, because in the end everybody reconnects with God and the divine. You can't stay separate forever. There is no hell except that which we create for ourselves. See, the hell that we create is when we seek perfection and then create it as a place that exists here and then judge ourselves to be as far away from it as possible. That's when we criticize ourselves. That's when we lose our faith in ourselves and thus lose faith in God. Because when you realize that God exists within all of us, when we realize that that Christ consciousness exists within us, then to have faith in God, you have to have faith in yourself. You have to believe in yourself to believe in God. You have to realize that things are going to work out for you if you believe that God is moving everything around you. The truth of the matter is, the story of Jesus is the story of all of us. It's the story of coming into this world, overcoming struggles, realizing that we are divine, realizing that God's perfection exists all around us, then stepping into that power and changing our reality, creating that which we desire, moving into our power, sharing that light, sharing that Christ consciousness with all those around us. The story of Jesus was meant to be a story for you. And it's so great that we celebrate it at the end of the year as we move into a new year, because people think of New Year resolutions, of ways of how they want to improve themselves, how they want to change themselves. Don't worry so much about taking action to change yourself. Start by changing how you think up here. Start by having absolute faith in God and the divine, and then realizing that if God's plan is playing out before you, then you are exactly where you need to be, that you are exactly who you need to be, that you are divine and your timing is perfect, and you just have to trust and allow God, and things are going to move in the way that you need to expanding your life. And when you can see yourself as having faith in God, when you realize that things are exactly where they need to be, what you'll find is that you have courage in God, that you'll stop judging things as being less, and you'll move forward with that courage, and you'll start taking divine action. Because that's the way God works. God moves us, God inspires us, and then through that inspiration, we find the courage to take action. We start doing things that we never would have done before, because before we thought we were weak, before we thought we were small, and now we realize our truth, that we are powerful creators, that we are here to shift this very reality, just as that one man did thousands of years ago. So this Christmas, step into your Christ light. Realize that the light of God shines through you, that the way to heaven is by going within and trusting God, having faith. Don't worship Jesus as something you can't achieve. See Jesus as the roadmap to get to where you need to be. Don't follow the teachings of others. Listen to the words of Jesus. He said, "These things that I can do, you will do it even greater." But you'll only do that if you have faith And if it's hard to have faith in yourself at first, have faith in God. Because absolute faith in God will eventually become absolute faith in yourself. Because there is no other way. So thank you for joining us here today. Beautiful, powerful creators, children of God, lights of the divine upon this world. Shift into that higher consciousness. See yourself for who you really are. And then watch your whole world change before you. We thank you all for being here. And we love you. Always. I don't know what I can add to that message. It's just a powerful reminder of who we are. And when we realize that Christmas is celebrated by so many people, the story of this one person, how he changed so much in this world, that's our roadmap. Our way to heaven is by following the example of Jesus, because he stood in his power. He realized that he was connected to God, and then he moved forward. And guess what? Things aren't going to seem perfect, how we think of as perfect. If you were living the life of Jesus, you wouldn't see your life as perfect. He was killed by people who didn't believe in him. So if you were experiencing that life for yourself, you wouldn't think of it maybe as perfect in that moment. But then when you see the way the story changes all of reality, you see the perfection in it. Your story is no different. You don't have to live the life of Jesus to find that Christ consciousness. You don't even have to wish to shift the whole world. But just by stepping into your power, realizing who you are, you're going to shift that part of the world around you. And that's going to inspire others to step into their own Christ light. And that is the true meaning of Christmas. Christ. Not Christ the person, Christ the people. That's the story of Jesus. Sharing his Christ light so that others could find the way. So I hope that makes sense to you. I hope you can step into that power. I hope you realize the true meaning of Christmas. You can really follow the teachings of Jesus in that way. And if you do so, you're going to unlock something so beautiful, so powerful, that there's no putting it away. You will evolve into someone that exists on a high level of consciousness, that has a way of connecting with humanity like you never have before. It's going to be beautiful. So I thank you all for being here. If you like what you saw, please subscribe. Hit the bell to get notified of all my upcoming messages. You can love the like button for me. It really helps me out. Go forth. I hope you have a Merry Christmas. Propel yourself into the new year with this new knowledge. Go forth and shine your Christ light. Beautiful creators. Thank you. I love you all. And I'll see you next time. Bye.